Hey guys, this is Pete, Cardboard Box Millionaires. First video, gonna keep it low tech and keeping it real. The idea behind this channel is that anybody can become wealthy given time and intentionality, some sacrifice in the short term for long-term benefits. And I'll talk you through the idea and the numbers. I'll show you some calculators and things like that. You can decide how much you want to be involved. So today we're heading out sourcing. My wife and I are down to one car right now. She's shopping for a car after a fender bender. She's okay, but just the car was, it was an old car, so it didn't take much for the insurance company to total it. Anyway, so we're out sourcing. Stop by the post office later. When sourcing, I like to get there right when the doors open. And I'm not the only one, but everybody has their expertise. There are a lot of fish in the ocean, so there's stuff to be found on the shelves, even at Goodwill. And we'll talk more about sourcing later. So if you can. If you haven't figured it out already, part of the Cardboard Box Millionaire strategy is sourcing and reselling online. The returns I get are 50%, and that includes stuff that hasn't even sold yet. So if I go out and spend $200, I will get back $300. That's hard to beat anywhere. So spending money for me is a good thing. That means I found stuff that looks good and it looks like it'll flip. There's liquidity in the market. I started off selling electronics and musical instruments. In Denver, there was a shop that they would look up what stuff sold for on eBay, and they would price their stuff at 50% of what it sold for on eBay. So that was a great place. They've gone out of business, but it was so junky in there. Oh my gosh. But if you could dig through the junk, you could find stuff. And AI sure has changed things. Oh my gosh. When I got started, it was about 20 years ago, and I would get a stack of books at the library in their for sale section, and I would go over to the computers because the cell phones weren't smart enough yet, and I'd have a stack of 15, 20 books, and I'd go on Amazon and I would see what these things sold for. And the ones that looked good I would list immediately, even before I purchased them at the counter. So I'd list them while I was there and walk out with whatever my haul was. And I remember in those times, this is back in the Palm Pilot days, and people would have their Palm Pilot. You might have to look those up, or maybe I can put one on the screen here. And they bought an additional connector that could read a barcode, and they would pay, I want to say they paid $500 for the database of sold comps for books. So I would go to these county-wide book sales, and there would be rooms like stored, like, what do they call those metal hanger sort of rooms full of books. And I was at the mercy of looking at books and taking my best guess. I would buy textbooks if they were recent, and other things that it was always a gamble. So I would try to buy a number of books and increase my chances of making a profit if I had guessed wrong. So back 20 years ago, you were at the mercy of what you knew. But AI has become the equalizer, specifically Google Lens and other tools. I mainly sell on eBay. The bigger stuff I sell on Facebook Marketplace and deal with the hassle of lowball offers. But just stuff that's big, and I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, and so certain types of furniture people really want around here, mid-century modern namely, but I've been dabbling with antiques, and I'm getting some nibbles with some antique furniture. So yeah, I've been getting a little more risk, calculated risk is kind of okay. I gotta get my sneaky parking spot here at the Habitat store. I've been getting, I kind of have these spider senses, like, okay, I'm not getting sold comps on this, but I know it's worth more than this $45 they want this antique, beautiful antique for. So I've been getting a little more bold with my speculation. Well, that's just a rough, fun introduction. Feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know what you do in your experience, how long you've been doing it, and I'll be sharing I won't be sharing bolos because some of my bolos are kind of secret. I don't want the word to get out on the type of stuff, but I'll give you the principles that could very well lead you to some of my specific bolos. But yeah, thought I would just say hi, introduce myself, introduce the channel, and yeah, feel free to ask questions below and introduce yourselves. All right, see you guys.